And it's Ken Kreitzer for Sons of American Legion Radio. We're at West Point. It is baseball season now, although it's kind of a damp March night. We have a chance to talk with the head coach of Army Baseball, and that is Jim Foster. Good to see you, Coach. How is it like to get a team ready in the winter to go south and play some of the top Division I teams?
Well, we're very fortunate at Army to have some great indoor facilities. We have Foley, which is what football uses, and some of the other teams. It's a busy place in January and February, but we get our work in. We have a beautiful field, we have indoor cages, and we have Foley to be able to, long toss and do everything except pop-ups. Once you get outside, you want to get some pop-up priorities and cuts and relays, but pretty much everything else we can get our work in here. We're very fortunate.
So you can get an infield practice in there?
Yeah, we do full infield. You can play full games in there. So it's a beautiful facility. It's one of the best in not only the northeast part of the country, but the whole country. The entire nation. We don't go too many places with better facilities.
Absolutely. And you've been on 3 road trips already this year. You won your opener playing down at Duke, and then you were at Texas A&M. Then you were at the Armed Forces Invitational down in North Carolina. Logan Smith, your starting pitcher, really seems like he's off to a great start.
Logan's been throwing the ball great. He's really come a long way. He's developed a third pitch. He really has that combination of speed and location and movement that you really look for in a pitcher, and gets a lot of ground balls. He's really dedicated himself completely to being, he's one of our captains this year, and he's really been a great leader for the rest of the pitching staff.
And another pitcher, Anthony Lorico, did I say that right? Correctly, had a big effort against Campbell when you're down at the Armed Forces Invitational. And so tell us a little bit about some of the depth in your pitching staff.
We have Logan Smith, who goes out there and takes the ball every Friday for us. And then you have Anthony Lorico, who really does a great job pitching. He works fast. He's a lot of fun to play behind. He's got a great changeup. He's really what made him so successful at Campbell was his fastball location. He really had command of the fastball to both sides of the plate, and his breaking ball has gotten a lot better. He's really going to be a good pitcher down the line for us. And then you have Ray Bartoli. He's got a big arm. He's got big stuff. He's learning. He's more of a 2-pitch pitcher than a 3-pitch pitcher right now, but I think when that changeup comes along and he learns to locate that fastball a little bit better, he really has good stuff. He's got a bright future here. And the bullpen, we have a bunch of young arms this year. Will Hart's done a nice job. Robbie Bucher's done a nice job. I think we got some guys in the pen where you can mix and match. And once we figure out the back end, I think Harry Flannery's going to end up being a big pitcher for us, closing out games. So we have enough to go out there and compete. We just have to throw more strikes. We haven't thrown enough strikes this year, and I think that's more trying too hard and getting on dirt for the first time after being inside. So I've seen progress every weekend. It's gotten better from Duke to Texas A&M to the Armed Forces Invitational in Fayetteville, which is a really special weekend for us. Play in front of the troops down there in Fort Bragg and in front of so many fans. So it was nice to open the season. That's the way I like to do it. I like to play tough games early. I think that makes you better in the long run. So if you do get in a regional, it's like you've been there before and you've played top competition. Duke's a top 15 team and Texas A&M's a top 15 team. Campbell's a regional team. The last couple of years, they made a super regional a couple of years ago. And Air Force is a great rival. So it's been some good games so far.
Very good. Maybe you take us through some of your position players and your hitters.
Well, they go up there and battle. It's more of a veteran group. The pitchers is some more young arms, but in the field you have Anthony Jaquin, who, last year had a great season for us. Drove in almost 70 runs. He hits in the middle of the lineup. He was an all-region player. You have Jacob Hurtubise, who's been out so far this year. He played the first 2 games at Duke. Got hurt the 3rd game, so we didn't have him Texas A&M, and we didn't have him for the Armed Forces Invitational. But Jacobs, he's electric. He's one of the best players in this part of the country. He's a great center fielder. He can run. He's led the nation in. He's been, I think he was 3rd last year in stolen bases. The year before he was top 5. So he really makes us go, and I think when we get him back, it's going to help our offense a lot. we have a really good freshman at shortstop. Kevin DeBrule has done a nice job. Timmy Simos at second base has been doing a great job. Jeremiah Adams has been hitting the ball very well. We got a great athlete in left field, Andre Walden. Carter Messias has been in center field because Jacob's been out, but when Jacob comes back, Carter will play some right field. And I think when we get Titus back, our right fielder who has been out with an arm injury, he's someone who gets on base. He's a veteran player who really knows how to play the game. We like to run the bases very aggressively and put pressure on the defense. We haven't done a great job with that so far, but I think when we get those guys back, we can play the kind of offense that we like to.
Well, you got a big road trip down in sunny Florida this week, playing Western Michigan, Iowa, St. Joe's, Georgetown, Rutgers. That's got to be a great opportunity for you to really get some training in and play some top flight teams.
Yeah, spring break, that's what it's for. That's what it's exactly for. You want to get down there and in the warm weather and play every day. That baseball's designed to be played every day, so you get to go out there and play 7 or 8 games against good competition. And when you get back from spring break, you want to have your stuff together and you want the guys feeling good so they can play well going into conference.
And you got a couple interesting games coming up. You're going to play Navy down in Philadelphia at Citizens Bank Park on April 10th, and something I look forward to, the game at the Renegades Stadium against Marist in April. So some big days to look forward to.
Yes, we have a big series against Navy at Citizens Bank Park in Philly. We did Fenway a couple years ago. We did Campton Yards a couple years ago. So we're just very humbled to be able to play in a big league ballpark and letting us play 3 games this year. So we have 1 on Friday, 2 on Saturday against Navy at Citizens Bank Park, and then we have our local rival Marist over at the Renegades Stadium, which is also a special night because the little kids get to come out on the field and they do fireworks and really do a nice job with it.
Hey, I always got to ask you, because we're both Providence College alumni. You played there and won the Orioles organization. And then also, you're a big supporter of American Legion Baseball. Always got to ask you about American Legion Baseball whenever we have a chance to chat.
Yeah, Legion is something that's very close to, our family. My dad's been a coach in Legion for years and years, and would do anything for American Legion Baseball. I think that's baseball in its purest form. You have kids working jobs all day, and then they come out and play ball at night. And I know travel ball's really taken over in the country now, but American Legion Baseball is something where I wish it was still that way. I think that it really says something about playing with kids that are from 1 or 2 or 3 high schools, and you get to know each other, and they're actually playing to win something. They're playing to win a championship, and they learn all the qualities that you should learn out on the ball field, which is playing together and playing hard and trying to fight towards a common goal. And we'll do anything to support American Legion Baseball. We did have the tournament here a few years ago. Couldn't do it last year because of some logistical things, but I hope we can get it back here again.
Okay, Jim Foster, the head coach, Army Baseball. Great to see you. I wish you well as you head to Florida for your spring trip and for your Patriot League season.
Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
Our pleasure. This concludes, sir, for Sons of American Legion Radio at the United States Military Academy.